Welcome back. Today's devotional is taken from Daniel 6, verses 16 through 24. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mount of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace, and passed the night fasting, neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel, and hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. Verse 24 and last. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives, and the lions had the mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. How great is our God! Daniel, the prime minister of the greatest of earthly kingdoms, was at the same time a prophet of God, receiving the light of heavenly inspiration, a man of like passion as ourselves. The pen of inspirations describes him as without fault. His business transactions, when subjected to the closest serenity of his enemies, were found to be without one flaw. He was an example of what every businessman may become when his heart is converted and consecrated, and when his motives are right in the sight of God. Daniel's position was not an inevitable one. He stood at the head of a dishonest, prevaricating, godless cabinet, whose members watched him with keen, jealous eyes to find some flaw in his conduct. And I'm reading from the Ellen G. White's commentary, and many of us can attest to this situation that are working out there in the work world, working among a godless cabinet whose members watched us. Their members are watching to find a fault. They kept spies on his track to see if they could not in this way find something against him. Satan suggested to these men a plan whereby they might get rid of Daniel, use his religion as a mean of condemning him, the enemy said. It may be a difficult matter for men in high positions to pursue the path of an undeviating integrity, whether they shall receive praise or censure. Yet this is the only safe course. All the rewards which they might gain by selling their honor would be only as a breath from polluted lips, as dross to be consumed in the fire. Those who have moral courage to stand in opposition to the vices and errors of their fellow men, it may be of those whom the world honor, which will receive hatred, insult, and abusive falsehood, They may be thrust down from their high position because they would not be bought or sold, because they could not be induced by bribes or threats to stain their hands with iniquity. Everything on earth may seem to conspire against them, but God has set his seal upon his own work. They may be regarded by their fellow men as weak, unmanly, unfit to hold office, but how differently does the Most High regard them? Those who despise them are the really ignorant, while the storms of calamity and reviling may pursue the man of integrity through life and beat upon his grave. God has a well done prepared for him. Folly and iniquity will at best yield only a life of unrest and discontent, and as its close a thorny dying pillow, and how many, as they view their course of action and its results, are led to end with their own hands, their disregard, career, and beyond all this waits the judgment and the final irrevocable doom. Praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God. Daniel did not sin against his God. Daniel did not do as the king commanded because he knew it was not right. And we should all dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone. We might be in the midst of a people that are ungodly, but we should make the difference because we are the light of the world. And even though we are surrounded by darkness, we are the light. And the light that is in us should outshine the darkness. So the world around us will see and come to acknowledge the God of our fathers, Jesus Christ, who still sits on the throne. And Daniel did this. Daniel did not sin against God. As you read the story, he knelt down as he always do and prayed before God. He did not hide in doing so. He did it openly. He did not close his windows. He kneeled down and he prayed and honored his God at all times. And God honored him. They that trust in the Lord shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed but abideth forever. Dare to be a Daniel. Dare to stand alone. No matter what is happening around you, trust in the Lord that he will see you through. He will not leave you nor forsake you. He knows who you are, and you know whose you are. And if you believe and trust in the God that you serve, if you believe and trust in the Most High, knowing that he will hide you in the secret place of his tabernacle, that he will preserve your life from fear of the enemy, that he will uphold you with his right hand, that no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. Continue to trust in the Lord. Continue to wait upon him, knowing that he will come through for you. He will see you through. He will not forsake you. You will not be a laughing stock to the enemy, but he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh at them. The Lord shall have them in derision. The Lord knows what is ahead. The Lord knows what he has placed on the inside of you. The Lord knows what you are able to do. And if we stand up for that which is right and pleasing in the sight of God and do his will, do not be ashamed of him, because if you're ashamed of Jesus Christ, then he will not honor you in the presence of his Father. Let us all stand up for what we believe in. Let us stand up for righteousness. We're living in a world of chaos, a world where there seems like there is no hope. But God is still in control. We're in the last days. We were told of these things, and we should just stand up for righteousness and dare to be a Daniel. Be blessed and have a great day.